Vice Secretary?
I'm okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. First up this season, defensive end KJ Henry. Y'all fire away with questions.
They have a new offensive coordinator who's been at Memphis and Notre Dame. So how much do you guys watch Jeff Sims and what they did last year versus some of those older tapes?
Yeah, definitely got to watch both, really, knowing the personnel. For me, played a lot of these guys for many years now, so really just knowing their game is kind of like second nature for myself. But for the defense, just getting to know how people play, watching the spring game, obviously, just watching tape on last year's team. Didn't get to play Sims in our game, but like I said, I played him before, and he played in the later half of the season. So just getting to know his mannerisms and things like that. And then like you alluded to, the new offensive coordinator, kind of knowing his scheme, where he's been. We saw him a little bit in Notre Dame in the Cotton Bowl. So kind of just a mixture. You know, that first game, you can get anything. So we got to be prepared for it all. But at the same time, you know, football's still football. So, you know, by halftime, you know, we'll kind of feel who they are, who they really want to be that game, and then just kind of fixing things and going from there.
KJ, what makes Sims a difference maker on the team?
His ability to throw and run. I think that's kind of what the game has come to nowadays. You know, dual threat quarterbacks that not only just running the ball, but have a great, you know, placement on the ball, very accurate. And that's what he brings to the game, one of the best in the country. Very fast, very elusive. You know, the second you think you have him, you probably don't. And, you know, he's really good at, you know, having that ability to get out the pocket and make a negative play a positive one. So he's definitely going to be a good challenge for us, you know, week one.
How much does that negate a pass rush when you've got a guy who is so elusive in the pocket and is hard to bring down like that? Does it force you to be a little less aggressive?
Not necessarily less aggressive, but you have to have more attention on the details. You know, there's angles from a defensive line perspective that you have to attack a quarterback on, and you just have to hone in on those angles when it comes to a guy who can, you know, once you come around the edge, who can still, you know, escape the pocket. You know, it's all about leverage, and, you know, when you get past an offensive lineman, what points of attack you want to place on a quarterback. And like I said, when it comes to guys who can move out the pocket and are elusive, you just have to specify on those things. And, you know, that attention to detail can be the difference between a missed sack and, you know, a tackle for loss. So really just, like I said, it's going to be a great challenge for us week one to hone in on those details when it comes to, you know, an elusive quarterback like this.
Are these games at neutral sites, even though it's in Atlanta, up in Charlotte, and NFL stadiums, are they fun? I mean, do you guys look forward to that?
They are so much fun. You know, for the majority of every team, this is like the only time you will get to play in the NFL stadium for a lot of us players. So anytime you get that opportunity, you know, you have to take it for what it is and really just enjoy every moment of it. I know I'm very excited. This is a new stadium. I'm really excited to play in this one, in this environment. But yeah, I think for everybody, just guys getting to travel, I wish we could bring the whole team. Obviously, it being an in-conference game, that's not the case. But definitely will not take this one for granted at all. You know, anytime you get to kind of step out of, you know, the natural environment you're used to and just get to see new things and new experiences, it's always awesome. Yeah.
KJ, the game against them was a real dogfight last year. Long lightning delay. Y'all came up with the goal line stand. What do you remember about that night?
It was a dogfight. I remember that for sure. They played a great game, kept it close, you know, kept it interesting, and I just remember, you know, that was a scrappy bunch, and you got a lot of those guys who have returned, who from their perspective felt like they obviously should have won that game, and you know, that they were left a little short, and that's the mindset that we understand that they're coming in with. But you know, for us, it's the same way. You know, we felt like we should have played a lot better. And no matter the circumstances, lightning delay, whatever they may be, both teams have to go through them. And so we have to be better for whatever happens. And in that situation, obviously knowing the first game, you know, there's going to be hiccups. That's what's coming with it, you know. And being the guys who kind of get to play later, Coach Sweeney's, you know, advice to us is learn from other people's mistakes. You know, as we saw people play last Saturday, and we'll see a couple games before we get to play. Let's just learn from those and try and minimize as many mistakes as possible. The goal for us is, you know, having game one being our worst game of the season, you know, and we grow from there. But with that being said, we want it to be the best worst game possible. So, yeah.
You watch a lot of football this past, I mean, obviously, I went to Nebraska, you don't have to talk about that one. But is it like this coming weekend to spend your Saturday, that first week one Saturday, it's got to be kind of fun to get to put your feet up and watch some football.
Yes, I am a football fan through and through, on and off. Wasn't necessarily glued to the TV. I do love relaxing on my weekends, but at the same time, just to turn it on and get to see some football was one of the best feelings I had in a very long time. Definitely getting to see some of the league opponents, Florida State, North Carolina, were great to see. But yes, just like you said, just being able to watch football again. I know the fans were excited, starting the home gate, tailgate, whatever. Just that environment, that spirit. We all know it's the best time of year, and just glad it's back.
I know there's, new defense coordinator, not totally new, all of that, we've heard that over the last couple of months, but how much better are you in different areas? What has that new dynamic brought to you guys?
Whole lot of new, like you said, new coordinators, new roles for different guys, people growing, people developing. It's been fun. It's been fun to navigate that space as, a fifth-year guy. It's very easy for a lot of people in my situation to say, "Oh, this year's about me," and now it's just time to, get mine and get out of here. But that's so far from what it's been. It's been so fun to navigate this leadership role and really trying to just hone in this new, defense, new identity, with also some of the same things that Clemson defense is known for. Fast, physical, tough, and dominant, and that's what we still plan to be. So it's been a fun challenge, but at the same time, it's been fun more than anything. And Wes and Coach Khan have been awesome. They're listening to us, and more than anything, they just want to win. They want to win and dominate, and that's what we want to do as players. So being like-minded in that regard, it's been fun to attack each day, especially in practice.
KJ, now that you guys are close to starting the season, what's the mindset coming off last year? It was a good season. It wasn't a season that you guys have been used to before.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to doing what we do, and that's that simple. I think there were a lot of times, especially for myself, we knew what we were capable of, but we were in our own way, and there were a lot of good teams that we play every year that fed off of that. I think we, as a league, aren't given the respect that we deserve, and finally, Clemson has a hiccup year, and it's like everybody's surprised that they're close games. We've been telling y'all we've been playing good teams every year, and that's kind of been the case. But at the same time, we know what we're capable of, and we're ready to get back to that. And it's going to start with this game. We're only focused on this game and being the best version of ourselves. But we're excited. We're excited to go play. Excited to prove that we belong, and not only we belong, but we're one of the best in the country. And we're just happy to get that opportunity all over again. Clean slate, different team, and different challenge, but we're ready.
How much better is your offense this year?
They're so much better. Everybody's grown. I think everybody in every position has grown. But when you specify the offense, there's not one person on the offensive side of the ball who didn't get better this year, who hasn't grown in some capacity over the spring and over the summer. As a team, we all got so much better, got so much closer. Coach Sweeney would tell you this is one of the closest teams, the well-knit teams he's had since he's coached here, and I can definitely say this is the most well-knit team I've been a part of since I've been here. The talent's there, the sky's the limit for us. But as an offense and really as a team, there's nobody who took a step back. Everybody in some form or fashion has gotten better, and you're going to see a better version of everyone coming Monday.
You talked about kind of getting in your own way last year as being one of the reasons that maybe the season didn't play out the way you had hoped it would. Has this offseason been about changing things or kind of doing what you've always done just better than you did it last year?
Yeah, it's been about doing what we always done, and Coach Sweeney will allude to the fact that we just got to get back to who we are. Best is the standard, all in, those things. Like, we hear them so many times that I think the problem last year is, it could just be in one ear and out the other. With this team, it's like, what does that really mean, right? Does that mean if we're going to be the best that we can possibly be, that's first, it starts with self. Right, if I'm going to show up every day, it's holding everybody accountable, and not only holding everybody accountable, but holding myself accountable to what we see as the standard, right? And I think with that mindset, it came as well like in games. I think the fans can feel it too, as far as we're just used to winning, right? And there was no we had lost the appreciation for what it takes to win, and we're excited to get back to that. There's not going to be one game that we have this year where not only that we just expect to win, but it's just going to be a rollover game. We're going to really show the respect that we have for each opponent, and really just playing to dominate. And I think that's what it's going to be. I know for myself, it could be something as small as like when we win games, coach say, you know, we win, we dance. Felt like I got too old to just dance, but I promise you, every win we get this year, I'm dancing my tail off, because I am reminded of, you know, how hard it is to win and how much work we put in to win, and I'm going to appreciate every moment we get.
I know that people will have offered some critique, I guess, maybe of not going into the transfer portal and getting a bunch of good players, or, you know, you could have gone out and hired the biggest name coordinators in the world to replace the coaches who left, and that hasn't been the way that it happened. Do you always see that as sort of a reminder that, like, and it isn't about, like, we were missing something, it was about, we already had it here, we just need to do that better?
Yes, it's definitely everything we need. We already had here. There's no doubt about that. And everybody he's bought in, Coach Sweeney, he's done a great job. He sees it before we ever could. You know, alluding to new coordinators and, you know, people that might need to come in here. We might, as players, want, oh, this guy has the best name. You know, this guy has this pedigree, but Coach Sweeney does a great job of understanding the culture that he's built, and what's the best fit for us as players. And the hires he's had has been home run. You know, everybody who's stepped into this building as a first year, you know, whether it be coordinators, GAs, whatever. I mean, the mesh has been amazing from a staff standpoint, and from a player standpoint. Everything, like I said, everything we need was already in this building, and it was only a matter of everybody growing and being a better part of themselves. And that's what, like I said, that's what we've seen throughout the spring and the summer, and excited to see it on display, you know, coming Monday.
KJ, is that